All right, got another HAX test coming here. So additional cleanup, some just general things I can wind through. And now when I hit next, not only do we jog back to the top, but we also mark previous thing at 100%. You'll see it swipe real fast through whatever it is. So that's just a nice little, indicating you already did that. If you go backward, it's not going to do it at the moment, right? But that way I get my confirmation. The same as if I had gone to this and scrolled to the bottom sort of deal. So let's edit some content now. So you can go into edit mode, fire that up. You see we have some different options now. So now I can highlight like the word animals, and we'll send you to google.com for that. Okay, we've got that link there. I could highlight this and say unlink, so we get rid of the link. We've also got some indenting, things like that. So let's make a paragraph. Whoop. Say double event currently. I'm trying to account for, so we do that. And more list items here, but item 3 has to get indented more. And we can make bullets. Okay. And then we could outdent and it jumps back to 3. Option 3. Cool. So those are new. Still messing with within a deeper context menu, if you will. Also, this menu properly goes away like it should. So some nice general bug fixes going on. I can move that up, and then the big deal. I can enter a URL, and for this one, we're just going to say my personal blog. And what we get is an iframe thrown in, and then we have a specialized contextual menu just for iframes. So I can say, hey, be 75%, and it'll be 75, 25, 25, 100, 100. I can hit the link, and I can modify this to maybe point to /thoughts, and it'll update this dynamically. So now it's pointing to the thoughts part of my blog. Let's make this 50%. Let's center it. You can see a lot of good stuff going on here as far as keeping that context menu positionally where it should be and updating it in real time. So, for example, if we do like a flip right, you can really see it, right? Making sure we keep tabs on the exact top left corner of that item. So pretty cool there. I can delete that. Let's do image. Now I could do for all of these, so I am faking this a little bit because I can just point to any old thing. But image has an even more specialized series of options than iframe. So an image, I can make an image really small. I can center an image, just like the iframe one. I can edit this and point to a new location. I can add alt info, right? And that'll inject the alt information. And at a later point in time, we're gonna have some styles down here that can be wrapped into by a CMS type of a deal. So I can make that image 100%, move it up in the document. Also got some additional support for like YouTube. So if I add YouTube or a SoundCloud in, we're going to get, this support in here. I need to do a responsive iframe type of technique. That's not terribly difficult. The difficult thing has to do with correctly targeting an element that's a child of a child, so to speak. So I could make that center, or should be able to make that center. There we go. Okay. Some little state management oddities there. Another thing I've noticed just from testing is I need to be able to take this and say reset. So I need like a null state. Otherwise, you're forced to do like a float left or a in the middle or a float right sort of deal. We also can throw in whatever. So like I'll click this. I'll just do a .mp3 that I found. So there's an mp3 file. Again, contextual menu specific to that. I could throw in a SoundCloud as another one, I believe. Whoops. SoundCloud. Oh, I don't know if I actually have any specific SoundCloud ones with their iframe mode. No, okay. So that's another thing, right? So you would have to start to have some minor level of support for, like if you do YouTube github.com/watch, it's not going to show up correctly. You need to use the embed link, which has the ability to be followed. So some pretty cool stuff associated with getting into different types of medium here. So now I have this image which I can offset relative to other items. So and starting to dig into some of the more the multimedia things here. Now, obviously, this is not talking to our back end in the in Elms to do kind of the more sophisticated stuff where we would actually be creating nodes dynamically. But you can see it has kept my changes of formatting associated specifically with that image in this case, or this MP3 file. So next steps are probably starting to dig a bit more into actually getting the back end wired up, as well as, you may notice some of the glitches, deeper contextual elements. So if you select a tag within a tag, if I can find one, this is technically an image sitting inside a paragraph. And so right now it's difficult to actually target the image specifically. I can kind of do it sometimes, right? So I can do that. If I hit this button, you'll see that goes away. So I need to basically have a kind of better state management when it comes to already being inside an item and then activating stuff within that. So in that case, probably the top menu should be hidden. This grid plate manager should still be here, or it should start to be able to do management within items, which nesting the management of those items definitely is going to up the complexity. So I'm trying to get everything else in tip-top shape before we get into that. As far as grid plate management is the next logical thing with that, which grid plates would be laying down content items that are predefined, that have like divs and paragraphs and things, and being able to just click and edit images directly that way. But it's certainly coming along pretty nicely.